Okay, so let's just get started making our card. We have a basic white, thick basic white, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. All right, so you're going to have 2 pieces of fresh freesia. These are last year's in colors, and it's 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. So that can probably go there. So let's just do that. Oh, it's on the back. 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Well. And I think I've told you before, the reason I do this is because I like to have the look of a colored card base, but I don't like colored cardstock as a card base. It's just this thing I have. So I always use basic white. Once or twice I might have used the colored cardstock for the card base. And then I put just this 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 piece of colored cardstock, which gives the appearance of a colored card base, but it's not really. Now on the inside, you're going to have another piece of fresh freesia, 4 by 5 1/4, and that's on the back too. 4 by 5 1/4. All right, and I always use colored in here to give it a little extra oomph. Now we have some things to do. We can go ahead and build our card up. We have garden green, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. That's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. But before we put that on, we've got a piece of DSP, which is 3 7/8 by 3 3/4. And I would say that it is a 1/2 inch from the top. So this, do I want to do this or do I want to use glue? I think I'm going to use glue because it's going to be a little bit tight fit. So 3 7/8 by 3 3/4. Edge to edge with a 1/2 inch from the top. And this graph paper really helps. I'm glad I used glue now because it gives me that last little chance to make everything right. My 6 inches of ribbon I'm going to put here, and it's going to be about 3/8 of an inch from the bottom here, and I'm going to, on the back where I know the ribbon is going to hit, I'm going to put some rolling adhesive, some Stampin' Seal, and see, that must be the front there. So about 3/8 of an inch from the bottom. Whoops, I put my stuff in the wrong place. I put it too low. All right, here we go. 3/8 of an inch from the bottom. And I'm just pushing it in that adhesive. Now that's going to go here. I'll put some adhesive on top of that ribbon to hold it down. I hope I'm in camera. And we're having triple digits here in the temperature, so been hot. I've basically told my daughter I'm not going out after noon. After 12 o'clock, I am not going out because craziness out there. It's just too hot. I think I'm going to take a glue dot and pick that up, keep it as flat as possible, and stick it down underneath in the middle where I know that bow is going to land, because I want it to have a little bit of support. I don't want a saggy ribbon. All right, so now we're ready to do some stamping. Well, I'll wait and do the bow last. Good. Save the fun for the last. All right, so we got some flowers, and I put them on my block here. The flowers we're using is this flower and this flower, kind of whimsical. Not this one, just this one, this one. We're using that center and that center. And we're using this stem and this stem. And then we're also using a card to say hello, which I didn't get out yet. There, now we have it. And then we will get to the dies later. Right now we're just working on. Now I have a piece of 3 3/4 by 5 that's going to go on the inside. We're just going to stamp a flower on it. You can go ahead and put a sentiment if you know what you're going to use your card for, but I often don't know what I'm going to use my card for. Now we have 4 1/4 by 5 that I'm going to stamp my flowers, my stems, and my saying. And what's great about this is this stamp set and bundle comes with 2 labels that you can use. So it's kind of has everything you need to make cards. You don't have to get something else. Lots of sayings, lots of sentiments, just about covers any kind of occasion you might want. So let's get busy, and I'll bring out my Stamparatus. And again, I have forgotten to put a clean thing on there. The inks we're going to be using, this is my random ink to keep this level. And I'm going to put this over here somewhere out of the way so it doesn't get inky. The inks we're going to be using are Garden Green for our stems, Orchid Oasis, one of the new in colors, and Fresh Freesia, last year's in color. So let's start with, now we have to remember to do this flower when we do these flowers here. So let's just go ahead and do that flower. I'm going to put this in the corner and grab that flower, and that's going to be Fresh Freesia. So let me do my Fresh Freesia. Such a pretty color. I probably have to do it more than once because that's why I use my Stamparatus. Having it here in the corner makes it a little harder to get a good image on your first try. So there's that one. Now I'm going to I guess I'm going to clean that off. Maybe not, maybe not. I think I'm going to get my D-block and get the Fresh Freesia, not the Fresh Freesia, the Orchid Oasis. That's going to do the center of my flower. So I'm going to use this tiny little round one for the center of the flower. Okay, so that's inside one is done. Now this is 4 1/4 by 5, basically a quarter sheet. We're gonna do something called stamping. So I'm gonna stamp, I need 2 of those. So I'm gonna get my Fresh Freesia out again and stamp 2 of those. Try not to get ink everywhere on everything. I probably should have moved that, but I'm just lazy, so I'm not going to move it. That needs a little bit more here on this edge there. Oh, now it's like different colors. More ink on one side than the other. Wow, that's going to be interesting. And then I think I'm just going to bring this down a little, just so I have enough to die cut it. I probably picked the worst place to put that stamp. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I wasn't thinking. Okay, so there's that stamp. Now I'm going to wipe off this ink stamp here and get my what is this? Orchid Oasis. Oh, Orchid Oasis. Back out, and that was not a good one there. There, let me do that again. That was just weird. Okay, now clean that off. I'm going to get the bigger flower. I'm going to stamp that right there, but I'll put this back in the corner in case it moves. My fresh freesia again. One more time. It's so pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to clean this off because I don't need this little one anymore. Now I need the bigger one for the center. And I'm gonna put that on my block. And there we go. Okay, that's our flowers. Now, I don't know if I wiped that or not. I don't think I did. Now we're gonna do our, let's do our sentiment. We can do that down here at the bottom. And we just want to make sure that we have room to die cut it, and we do. So get our, we're going to do that with Orchid Oasis. No, I'm just going to do that once. I'm not going to get picky. Now we've got our stems to do. Just a couple of stems. I hope I left enough room for them. I think I did. There's one. And there's two. So pick those up. And those are going to be in garden green. Yeah, we have a container garden this year. We're doing tomatoes. Those poor things. I'm having to water them every day. They're just dying from the heat. But we have gotten a few tomatoes off of them earlier when it wasn't quite so hot. It's our first year trying to grow anything other than grass and you know, landscaping type stuff. So we'll see how that goes. So far it's been a struggle, but it's fun having live things to care for, trees and bushes and flowers. All right, I think that's it. I think that's all of our stamping. So we'll go to our die cutting now. Put our inks away. So before I bring that in, let me go ahead and do this. We need a 1, a 2, a 3, and this is kind of the scratchy one, and then another 3 after I put all these on. So here's my dies. I hope I can do all of these together and not have to. Now I saw that there is a magnetic plate for the mini. I don't know if any of you saw that. So that's going to be interesting. A magnetic plate for the mini die cut machine. Now this one's too close. I'm not going to be able to do those together. But I think I can get this in the center one anyway. These are kind of tricky, aren't they? Just have to spin them around until they look good. And I'm using a Scotch removable tape. Will I be able to do this one too, or do I need to wait? Oh yeah, I can do that one. It's reusable and it's removable. Okay, so this is ready to put through my machine, which I will do right now. Bring in my big shot. My big shot. My Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Duh. Y'all know. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. So I'm going to run that through. Easy peasy. It cracks, but that's okay. It's supposed to crack. It's normal. So, poke these out. There's my stems, one of my flowers, and my sentiment. I'm just going to set these over here for now. I'm going to reuse that. So I need that one and this one. So this one again, where are you? There we go. Yeah, just keep turning it till it looks like it fits. This one's a little easier to figure out. All right, now this is ready to go through the machine again. There we go. Now we have our flowers. Put these back on my magnetic keeper. Now we are ready to put our card together. Our front of our card. So that's what the front looks like. Let's go ahead and put the inside in. And I'll decide later if you want to go ahead and put something in there. If you know you're going to use it for birthday or thank you or get well soon, then go ahead and stamp that. We know this is going to go down here at the bottom. I think I put that on with glue dots. I hope. So I'm just going to put one on one end and twist. Another end and twist. And I think it'd be easier to do it this way. It's about 1/8 of an inch from the top and even center to center. I'll do one side and then I'll do the other. It's not quite in the center. It's a little tricky. Yeah, that looks good. And the flowers, we know we want one there and we want one over here. And we want a little flower here, a big flower there, and a little flower here. All right, so I will go ahead and I'm just going to use some glue dots too for this. One behind here, and again twist it off, hold it and twist it. Don't bend it like I almost did. And it might be better to just pry it off, go underneath and pull it up with this. That way you don't have to worry about bending it unless your fingers stick to it. Okay, so that's going to go there. Flower, twist, twist, there, another flower, twist, twist. You might be able to get by with just doing one. Okay, this one, going to do the same thing. And I'm going to use this because last time Annette pulled the paper off too. I think just one should hold that one in place. It's going to go over this way. Twist, twist. There we go. Now the bow. Well, before we do the bow, let's go ahead and do the 3 small, they're Starry Sky, which is these, and they are the 2022, 2024 in color matte dots. So I'm just gonna take them right off of here. And it's about 1/4 of an inch from the edge, just above the paper. And they're about 1/8 of an inch apart. Maybe not quite 1/8. I just thought it would add a little something and kind of tie it all in. And that one needs to come up a little. That one needs to come down a little. Okay, that's that. And now the bow. Where's the, oh, it's over here, smashed up underneath, smashed underneath the stamp set. Okay, I'm just going to try to get some of the crinkles out. So to do this bow is kind of easy. You just make 2 loops like that, and then you turn them. Put this one over that one, and it makes like a little bunny rabbit with the face and ears. You're going to take that ear and push it through the face from the back and grab it and pinch it between your 2 fingers and thumb and pull gently. And you may have to play with it to get it the right size. It's a little big. Okay, that looks about right. That's going to go right there. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Cut the ends. And it's going to go right there. So glue dot, please. And all right, so here's the just one glue dot, and I'm going to put it right in the center, right there. And there's our little card. So I hope you enjoyed making this card with me. I love this paper. This paper is Tea Boutique. It's in the new annual catalog, and it goes with the teacup. It comes 6 by 6, but there is a lot in there that doesn't have to do with teacups. So if you want some paper to play with that is not just, you know, teacups, but fun paper, then this is the paper for you. Teacup Boutique, or Tea Boutique. All right. Well, thanks so much for your support. Have a great evening. Thanks for joining me. Bye.